Welcome. Welcome to my original first ever I Have Questions weekly newsletter. I'm going to start putting these out for myself, mostly probably, to pair with this week's interview. And so I thought it might be kind of nice to add to it, extend the conversation, and throw my 2 cents in. So I think we should get going, huh? Let's do it. So, seeing yourself clearly. I think today my newsletter is about seeing yourself clearly by using what Emily Patullo and her book 12 Creative Steps, Your Creativity, and Da Vinci's Exercise for the Soul from his book, or from the book from Michael J. Gelb. So, there's a moment in part 2 of my conversation with Emily where she says something that kind of stopped me in my tracks. Actually, we were talking about her book 12 Creative Steps to a Fulfilling Life, and how creativity isn't just something you do, it's actually something you listen to. She said, I used my training skills. I'm going to read this out, I'll mess it up. I used my training skills, intuitive abilities, and life experiences to understand my own soul's purpose and help others discover theirs. That I've kind of been thinking about that line all week. And, you know, there's this one thing that I think Emily makes clear is this: you can't live your purpose if you can't see yourself clearly. Not that version you shaped by expectations, whether they're your expectations or others' expectations of you. Not that version of you performing for approval. We all want approval. And not that version of you who's been running on autopilot for years. I think that's almost all of us. But the real you, the one that's underneath all the noise that keeps percolating and fighting, and so that brings me to something that I would like to offer you this week. An activity that is inspired by, again, How to Think Like Leonardo da Vinci by Michael J. Gelb. It's simple, but it's pretty powerful, and it pairs beautifully with Emily's message about, returning to yourself. So here's the activity. It's called the mirror observation. And it's a Da Vinci inspired practice for self-awareness, actually. So this week, I want you to try something that is going to feel uncomfortable at first. Not might feel uncomfortable. I believe it's going to feel uncomfortable, but stay with it. It's worth it. I really think it is. So, step 1, stand in front of a full-length mirror. If you're feeling brave, do it naked. If not, just wear something simple. But stand in front of a full-length mirror. And the key is this: you're not standing there to judge yourself. You're not standing there to evaluate how you look or how your clothes look or if you're ready to go out. You're standing there to just observe, just be curious. Notice a few of these things and more, but does your head tilt? Is one shoulder higher than the other? Are your hips level? Do you lean on one foot or another? Is your body loose or tense? Again, you're not looking for flaws. You're looking for things that you don't notice day to day, maybe. You're looking for, quite frankly, what is probably the truth. And I'm going to say it is super hard to not judge yourself. It's super hard to not evaluate, but really push that out of your mind. Push it out and just observe. Just be curious and see what happens. After you can't do that any longer, do it for another few seconds, because we can all go further than we think. Once you're done, take a breath, chill out, relax a little bit, but then go grab a notebook with a pen or a pencil or crayons, whatever you have. Go grab your notebook And what you're going to do is you're going to draw your body from memory. It doesn't need to be good. It doesn't need to be realistic. It can be a modified, glorified stick figure. What matters is that it's your drawing of your body from what you observed. That's what matters. Okay. So once you've drawn that, now go grab 3 colors, whether they're pencils or pens or markers or crayons, whatever you have, 3 colors, red, black, and green. Okay. Red, black, and green. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to take the red marker color, and I want you to color in on your body where you feel tension or stress. Not necessarily where it hurts or it aches, unless that is a spot where it feels stressful or tension. I know that when you stop and think about it, you know that when you get stressed, there's a couple spots in your body that you are automatically aware of. And then think about the 1 or 2 or 3 that you're not really aware of. So color those red. Once you're done with that, I want you to grab the black color, and I want you to color in the areas where you really don't feel anything, where you probably forgot you even have it, right? Where the energy feels blocked, or where it's just, it's part of the structure. Once you've done that, grab a green marker and color in where you feel the most alive and open and vivid and flowing, and where things just have always kind of worked for you. Don't overthink it. Don't overdo it. Just quick, easy, thoughtful, curious questioning. And let your body tell you the truth that your mind, which is the most powerful muscle in our body, often ignores. Okay. And once you're done with that, just let it sit, let it percolate. We're going to come back to that next week. How's that? So why does all this matter? Why does it connect to what Emily and I talked about? In part 2 of our conversation, Emily talks about how creativity had become her compass, the thing that guided her back to herself when she had realized that she'd been living a life shaped by expectations instead of intention. She didn't find her purpose by thinking harder, right? She actually found it by feeling deeper, by listening, by noticing, by questioning, by being curious and paying attention to the places inside of her that were tight and blocked or alive. This exercise does the same thing. It slows you down long enough to hear what your body has been trying to tell you. We don't slow down. It helps you see yourself without the filters you've been carrying around and without the outside noise and the outside people. It reconnects you to the parts of you that are asking for attention and healing or expression. And that's really what's at the heart of Emily's work. You can't fulfill your life if you're disconnected from yourself. So, your invitation for this week: do the exercise, take your time, be honest, be gentle. Then ask yourself, what is my body trying to tell me? What wants to be released? What wants to be expressed? And what wants to come alive? These are the questions that Emily asked in her own life, and the questions she helps others explore. And so next week, in part 3 of our 3-part conversation, we're actually going to dive into the moment that Emily stopped living for others and started living for herself. A moment that actually led to her first solo single and created a little rebirth for her. We're going to kind of take a look at that next week as well ourselves. So until then, stay curious, stay open, keep asking questions. Peace, love, are.